So we're gonna see some inconsistency from City, I think, moving forward. But that's just my take on it. Obviously, we're already over an hour. I'm gonna go into the last topic before we wrap up, and this is a topic that has made headlines for the last 24 to 48 hours. Messi wins the Ballon d'Or, and oh my goodness, I know as in the last show we did our nominees for who we thought would win it, and I did not even think Messi was going to be the top three.
Neither did I.
So yeah, you guys take the floor, man. I think
Yeah,
everybody
Charles,
is
Charles, please go ahead.
take the floor in this one.
Okay. So I read somewhere the criteria for how the Ballon d'Or is awarded, and I can't remember off the top of my head, like all of it off the top of my head, but like I think they take into account like your whole career, like the season you had, like all the the stats and everything, like all of that stuff as well. So when you look at when I remember thinking that, like, looking at the criteria, then then yes, Messi does deserve to win in that sense. Having said that, Lewandowski obviously definitely in 2020 should have won, and this year I think should deserved it more than Messi. So while I wouldn't say that like Messi shouldn't have been in the top three, like I probably would have put him second or third. For him to win it, especially when he's already got 6, I think is a bit, like, give it to someone else, I think Lewandowski definitely deserved it more. Man, I don't know. This one's a tough one for me because as much as I'm like a Ronaldo stan, I can't deny that Messi is one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time as well. So, did he deserve it? Maybe, maybe not. There's arguments for and against it, in my opinion. I tend to lean more on the side of, give it to Lewandowski. But I'm not necessarily complaining that he won it. I do also think that there was a more political element to him winning it as well. So it wasn't purely for football reasons. There must have been something else behind it. But I'm not upset that he won. I'm just like, I don't know. That's a tough one as well. I'm not upset that he won, but I think there was another player that deserved it more. But Messi still would have been in my top 3.
Ooh, Messi would have been in your top 3.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Sorry, I just wanted to read before as you go on. I just wanted to read what Thomas Muller posted on here on ESPN. ESPN posted this quote from Thomas Muller. What happened at the Balon d'Or ceremony was disappointing, similar to Ribéry in 2013, but this gives us more motivation to win this season's UCL and prove to the world that German football is capable of, and we will prove that starting with our next match. Sorry, geez, I butchered that. So let me reread this. So what happened at the Ballon d'Or ceremony was disappointing, similar to Ribéry in 2013. But this gives us more motivation to win this season's UCL and prove to the world what German football is capable of. And we will prove that starting with our next match against Barcelona. Everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
It was basically like a slap in the face to German football because apparently the goals that Lewandowski scored in Germany was not good enough. So yeah, good luck to Barcelona. They need that win. They need that win next week. So it's gonna be fun to watch that. But sorry, I just wanted to read that quote from Thomas Muller.
Okay. I think it's online, so you can see what Josh, you and I talked about. But I had Lewandowski at 2, if I remember correctly. I had Lewandowski second. only because I have to put Jorginho number one. In my mind,
Oh yeah,
it
I
makes
think you
the
had
most
Conte as
sense.
number one. Okay, it was Jorginho. Okay.
It was Jorginho. Yeah. No, guys, come on. You guys are laughing at me. I don't know what's going on here. It's the most logical choice. He won the Euros. He won the Champions League. Top four finish after being ninth place. Top four finish in the Premier League. Finals of the FA Cup, and now is playing for the team that's in first place in the Premier League again, in the most difficult league in the world.
Did he also
I
win the
think.
FIFA? He won like the was it the
Oh yeah,
FIFA
he won
best
that too. The
player or something
FIFA
like that?
men's player. Yeah.
Yeah,
He won
men's
that.
player. Yeah, FIFA men's player.
Then Mendy won the Golden Glove thing. It was. I think it's for the Champions League though. I think it's Champions League player of the
Oh,
whatever.
I
I think
thought
that's
okay. I
what
think it
it
was
was.
just FIFA men's. Okay, sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. But he also won that. I forgot about that. The amount of trophies he had. I don't understand what's the difference between what Jorginho did this year compared to what Modric did when he won it. If anything, Jorginho performed better because he won the Euros. Modric was only second. Both won the Champions League, and Modric won his league for a top four finish. To me, it's categorically insane for Jorginho to be third and have everybody else above him. Jorginho won, Lewandowski two, Messi three. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
I'm sorry, I have to respond.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I have to respond. Okay, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Would you at any point in the last 12 years, or sorry, no, let me put it this way. At the height of his, like at the peak of his career, would you have given Sergio Busquets a Ballon d'Or?
At the peak of his career?
Yep.
No, probably not.
Why not?
No, okay. Listen, it's an apples
because
oranges.
the way I see it is that like Jorginho's best season would not even come close to like the top three of Busquets' best seasons. You know, the man's won the sextuple, he's won a World Cup, he's won pretty much everything there is to win in the game, and he is Ballon d'Or-less. Okay, I don't even know if he's ever made the top three. You know,
But
so
Never.
can I rebut that quickly?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but isn't it about the year, right? Like if we're doing this based on career, it'll always be Messi or Ronaldo every single time from now till 2040. Like if we're doing it based on what the career looks like, we have to take into account what took place this year. He won the most important, I guess, club trophy this year. He won the most important trophy for countries this year. And what else does he have to do?
But how much of that was actually down to Jorginho? You know, okay, so like he didn't. It's not like he had an amazing Champions League that he won. He didn't necessarily have an amazing Euro. He just happened to be in those teams, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the recognition. I'm genuinely not saying that because obviously, you know, he did something right, but you can't tell me that, you know, Italy winning the Euros and Chelsea winning the Champions League and whatever else it is that Jorginho won that season was down to Jorginho's individual brilliance. You know, because for me, Jorginho he's not a bad player. Let me just say that. He's not a bad player, but he is not by any means the player that's going to change a game for you. I'll be besides, you know, scoring a penalty. That's how I see it, you know. Whereas for me, if you take into account what if you look at Sergio Busquets, he is one of the best holding midfielders of all time, in my opinion. If you look at Luka Modric, even though I don't particularly like him, I genuinely do think he had a better season than Jorginho did. Still wouldn't have given him the Ballon d'Or. No way in hell. I think that was ridiculous as well, and I think that was probably somewhat political. But you know, he got one. Congratulations to him. But man, definitely Jorginho, in my opinion, is lucky to be in the top 10. How, like,
That is so ridiculous.
He is lucky to be in the top 10. Okay.
That is. I was vibing with each other. I thought we were good, and then this is what Stephen A. would say. It's blasphemy. He committed blasphemy just now. Let me tell you a few things, Charles. Number one, just because he isn't the sexiest player, doesn't always walk around in a nice red dress, doesn't mean he's not performing properly. He does exactly what he's supposed to do on both on the Italy team and on the Chelsea team. That's what enabled us to get to the position that we're in. He's the vice captain for Chelsea. Again, won the Euros, won the Champions League, went from 9th place to 4th, and went to FA Cup finals. You can't. It's like, what's a good analogy for this? I don't know what to use here, right? Like let's say you were racing a car, right? There are two different cars. One car they're both exactly the same, but you put in one extra, I don't know, gear or seat cushion or whatever, and as soon as you put that seat cushion into that car, you win first place. And you take that seat cushion out and you put it to a different car and you win first place again. But the two cars are identical. Only thing that's different is that one seat cushion. That's what Jorginho does. There's no way for us to know whether or not Italy will win without Jorginho. It makes no difference.
So okay, so sorry.
Go ahead.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead. No, I'm done. Go ahead.
So you really think that he was better than Lewandowski?
That's not the question. Okay, wait, let me ask you this then. Is Messi better than Lewandowski? Of course.
I mean, overall, yes, he is.
That's the same thing. It doesn't matter what
Messi is better than Lewandowski. I don't necessarily think he had the better season, but you can't tell me that he's not a better player. But Jorginho is neither a better player, nor, in my opinion, in terms of trophies, maybe we'll say he is if the Ballon d'Or had been held the previous year in 2020, I would assume Lewandowski would have won it. Don't know for sure, but I would assume he would have won it. So maybe in that respect, in terms of the trophies and whatnot, there is an argument to be made. I won't say there's not an argument to be made. That would be unfair. But if you look at the individual side of it, he does not even come in the top 20 of the players. You know, like he should have been watching the Balon d'Or, streaming it from his computer. Okay, not even watching it on TV, streaming it.
Okay, let me ask you this one more thing, and I'll leave it. We'll just agree and disagree. Let me ask you one thing.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, a player exists, not Jorginho, just a player. Player A exists, and his team. He starts every single game. He's the vice captain of his team, and his team and country win every single game by a record margin. Right, 10-0, all 38 games in the Premier League. They win every single title or cup or whatever they can win. And another player is individually performing exceptionally well, but their team isn't winning anything. Right? Which player is more deserving of the Ballon d'Or in that case?
Well, it's tough to say because it's an individual award.
Oh, of course, yeah. All these awards are individual awards. Yeah. But who would you pick?
I honestly, and this is a genuine answer, I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know. But that's the thing. I could have easily said that I think the individual player should have won it.
Yeah,
I honestly do not know who I would give it to in that situation. Because like with the team player, with the player who's doing well within the team and winning trophies, there are other players around him that like he's not winning these trophies single-handedly, So there's other players around him that you have to look at if you're gonna use that example, But I mean, I see the point that you're trying to make. I really do, and that's why I'm saying like it's not like he had a bad season, but to say that he should have won it for me is blasphemy. Is blasphemy.
That's
you guys.
How dare you?
But you know what it is, man. You know what it is. I think the Ballon d'Or needs to be reviewed, and we need to know what the criteria is. Because if you're gonna say the best player in the world, it should necessarily have to do with your team. Yeah, obviously, what you contribute to your team should be a factor in it, but a team winning a trophy should not necessarily be the reason that you win it. And I think I personally feel, obviously, Messi being Messi, and obviously, like Charles was saying, political. It was definitely a political agenda in some shape or form. And then him winning the Copa America was, I remember watching the finals of the Copa America, and right off the bat, the moment he won it, they started talking about, oh, he's got to win the Ballon d'Or. He's got to win the Ballon d'Or. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Italy just won the Euros. Why is no one talking about the Ballon d'Or? To any of these players. And I get, if we're judging it based on what basically the reason Messi won it was basically because of the Copa America. Because yes, he had a fantastic season in Spain, winning the Copa del Rey. Yeah, Copa del Rey is like the FA Cup in England. You know what I mean? Who, like, no one claps for you for winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
He won the Copa del Rey. Yeah, he scored how many goals for Barcelona? Great. In the Copa America, he wasn't even Argentina's best player in Copa America, right?
Mhm.
Okay, the vote goes on, so they determine it from start of the year to November. Messi has just registered his first goal in Ligue 1. He struggled in Ligue 1, and this is Ligue 1 that we've talked to. We make fun of. You know what I mean? That we
For
make
sure.
fun of. If we're going based on how Messi won it, I also said it too in the group chat that I'm with and I said Jorginho deserves it at this point, because what player won the Euros and the Champions League within a month from each other? And like, obviously, you studied the facts in terms of where Chelsea came from. Italy was not even thought to be a favorite to win it. They were like the dark horse or whatever you may call it, and they won it in style, in class, played good football. So to me, if we're going by that, but if we're going based on individual, like that individual ability, Messi should not even be on that list to me. I don't think. What about Benzema? What about Benzema? What about Mohamed Salah? To me, those two players have done this calendar year. They've done what many players have not been able to do. To me, like what Benzema has done for Real Madrid, ever since Ronaldo left, like the goals that he's been scoring, top goal scorer, what he's been doing for Real Madrid has just gone under the radar. He joined the French team. He was, between him and Pogba, they were the best players on the French team for the Euros. Like he was scoring goals, keeping us in the games, scoring goals, did his thing. And you got to remember, Benzema is also old too. He's not young. He's 33 years old. He's making Messi look like a grandpa right now. So to me, so that's where I do get your points. I think both of you make great sense. So I think that's where the Ballon d'Or. Same thing with, like, I don't know if you remember the year Thierry Henry and Nedved. Thierry did, it was the year of the Invincible. Reached the finals of the Champions League. He was top goal scorer in Europe and also in the Premier League. And who won it that year? Nedved.
Not bad. Yeah.
I don't know how whatsoever. Like, I don't understand how Nedved won it that year, right? Nedved was a great player, don't get me wrong. We can go down the list of players that have been robbed, of this trophy. And I think even if we had the Ballon d'Or last year, even though they said it was because of COVID and whatnot, which was, to me, was BS, we have Skype. You could have done the ceremony online. You know what I mean? Voting takes place online anyways. Like, it's not like presidential elections where people go to a physical polling station. So COVID, there was no reason why they couldn't have had the Ballon d'Or last season. And two, I still don't believe Lewandowski would have won it because he's not a sexy name. He's not a name that grabs the headlines. You know what I mean? He's not a name that you can hashtag on Twitter and everybody follows it. So for me, with regards to what you're saying, I think this year was just a joke. And I think the Ballon d'Or needs to be reviewed, because I just feel like, to me, I don't even care about it anymore. I think it's lost its value. What's the point of having 30 players on the list? Just make it top three players and let's get on with it. I mean, why is the point of having 30 players and then you don't even pick the right one at the end of it? So I think they just need to kind of review. I think they just need to be clearer. of what the criteria is, right? For us to have a better understanding, so we're not, you know, at each other's throats, right? Trying to figure out why this person deserved to win it. But I think everyone is kind of like in the same tune with on social media. Everybody is just like over the Ronaldo comment. Everybody is just kind of really upset with this one, you know. But yeah, that's my take on it. I just feel like I do get it. If we're doing based on player, then I think Benzema and it should have been between Benzema and Mo Salah.
So I just have a quick thing. I actually have the Ballon d'Or criteria.
Yeah.
And so the criteria is three things. It's the player's overall career, the player's class, so like, the talent, their individual talent and fair play, and sportsmanship and all that shit. And then individual and collective performances during the year. So those are the three things they judge the Ballon d'Or on. And I just have a quick question for Eze. And if we're talking about, a player that, won the Champions League and won the Euro, would you then consider, and I might shoot myself in the foot by asking you this question because I'm not 100% sure about this player, but I'm pretty sure what's the name of that
Emerson?
Yeah. Yes.
Emerson?
Yeah. The Italian?
Yeah. That's
okay.
it.
Emerson, the right back? I mean, the left back.
Yeah, because he's saying that he's Italian and he won the Euros and he won the Champions League. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, so like if that is
no, but he wasn't a mainstay though. He wasn't like a staple. Like
I know, but that's what he's getting.
But it's the same. It's the trophy. He won the trophies. So like, would you then consider him if just based on that?
First off, I want to say
sorry, go on.
First off, I want to say you've been honest with me with your replies. I'm going to be as honest as possible.
Okay.
No, you don't. You don't. It's not the same thing. It's not. It's not. Obviously, because like Jorginho played almost the most minutes for Chelsea the entire year. Emerson only featured in a certain amount of games, but you already know this, right? And as well for Italy, he only came in for a few minutes here and there.
What's his name got injured?
Euro campaign. Can I say that again?
Because what's his name got injured. Who was their right back? Their left back was actually pretty good. I forget his name now. The only reason Emerson started playing in the Euros is because the left back got injured.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, Charles knows that, right? But he's trying to get me in a gotcha. He's trying to gotcha me right now. I'm not gonna let him. That's the discrepancy, I would say. But yes, technically the criteria for both players is the same because they both want the exact same thing, play for the same country and club. But the difference is that obviously Jorginho played a lot more games, a lot more minutes, and was more instrumental in the fabric of the performance of them winning games. That's why I would say the difference is. But it's the same criteria. Yeah, you're right.
So I do 100% agree with you. The point I'm more trying to make of that is that like I just don't think that Jorginho was the linchpin that won them those cups, and also based on that alone, he doesn't deserve to win the Ballon d'Or. That's just the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I disagree. I'm upset to even bring that up. I feel embarrassed for you, but yes, I understand.
No, but another thing, right? It's so confusing because to me personally, I feel Messi just won it because of the Copa America, and that's maybe I might be wrong on that. Even though they said that's the criteria. First of all, to me, sportsmanship. To me, that's should not even be a criteria. Like
I 100%.
That's why like you start having some clowns winning it, and then the overall career. I think that's kind of unfair because someone could play their heart out, be the best, for the season, and then they get snubbed because somebody has done it somebody might have had an average season, but because they've done it for the last 20 years, they get it. To me, that's unfair as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the criteria, right? If we're talking about like, because Messi won a trophy and he was crying and whatnot, That's where, you know, because at the end of the day, okay, so why didn't a French player win it when France won the World Cup? Isn't the World Cup supposed to be the biggest trophy and that a football player can win? Why didn't Griezmann? This was when Griezmann was top of the world. He just signed for Barcelona. Why didn't Griezmann win it then? You know what I mean? Why didn't Mbappe win it? Like, you know what I mean? So
that was the year they gave it to Modric that year. Modric
yeah,
and then Ronaldo
for
was
finishing second. Yeah, he was very instrumental in Croatia. He was like him and Rakitic were very instrumental in Croatia reaching the finals. But they got played out the park. You know what I mean in the finals. So to me, I do get the point, but it's just like, yeah, I just don't agree with the whole. You know, I just don't even agree. I just don't agree with it. But
It's very
it is what it
flawed.
is,
Like,
right? Like,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. And I was reading into it. It merged with the FIFA Men's Player of the Year for a given amount of time, but now they're back to being on their own. And it's a French newspaper.
yeah,
It's just this way because they did it since like the 19 whatever, the 18
Like
whatever. It's a long
1950s or
history.
something.
Yeah, exactly. And like I don't understand. You guys probably tell me more about this, but I don't know what the criteria is to be a voter in this. I guess you're just a writer for the
So
Oh, I
there
have
is
competition.
the
no idea.
fans. So the fans vote.
Yeah.
So and that's another thing too. So the fans voted Lewandowski as to come first on like
Okay.
when they totaled the fan votes. It was Lewandowski first and Mo Salah second, close second. And then
Interesting.
there's also the portion of where the journalists and the managers vote and the coaches vote. That's
Okay.
when they gave it to Messi. So I'm guessing, obviously, I'm sure the journalist and the managers' votes are probably way more than the fan
Yeah.
votes.
Yeah.
So
Which honestly, which it probably should, to be honest. Fans are crazy people. They vote.
yeah, there's too many voices, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, like if the fans are voting a certain player, then you know what I mean, then that should tell you
But
that
like if Cristiano Ronaldo, like he's the most followed person on Instagram, right? Like if he put up blast saying, "Hey, go on this website and vote for me," he'd win every year.
Yeah.
Like it'd be over.
no, but I do get that. But if the two top people like Messi even may actually may Messi might have come third on that list actually for fan votes. But for him to come third in the fan
Yeah,
votes, and Messi is the most popular player among those three, right?
that's true.
Well, yeah, even Mo Salah, even though he's big, he's not as big as Messi, right?
Mhm.
So for Messi to come third, that should have shown people that okay, I get it. Like I think it's the same thing with Ronaldo, right? People are looking at his whole career, right? Like Charles said, it's the whole career thing that I think is really what is edging them against everybody else, you know. And I think once they retire, I think Messi and Ronaldo, they've been very great to football, and I don't think we're going to see another talent like that for a very long time. But I think once they retire, we're going to start. I think things will kind of come back to reality, like normal, whereby we're not just so gung ho on a certain player, right? Like they must win it all, and oh, they're the best to ever do it. So because of that, we should just give them everything. You know, we're going to see. I think we'll see a lot more competition once those
Yeah,
two are gone. You
I
know,
agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
yeah.
I will also say like one last thing, and then I'm done with this topic. Is that like with
Yeah.
regards to the criticism that the criteria gets, and I was just thinking about this like as you guys were talking just now. I kind of understand it in the sense that like with especially like maybe with something like sportsmanship, like if you're looking at the individual player, there are not a whole lot of opportunities for like defenders to win the Ballon d'Or because it's just not as glamorous as the person who goes and scores 50 goals a season, right? So in that sense, I kind of understand the criteria, like or defenders or goalkeepers or like anyone who's not like a central midfielder or striker, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of understand it in that regard. But you know, like you said, with the whole Messi and Ronaldo dominance, it's been very, very hard to even look at anyone else. And I do also think that like for two players that are supposed to be the greatest or two of the greatest to ever do it, the fact that one has 7 and one has 5, I think is a huge imbalance given the career that Ronaldo has in terms of, you know, the record for the most international goals and the most official goals ever, and then you're going to then tell me that, you know, Lionel Messi is 2 Ballon d'Ors better than him. I personally think, you know, no one's ever going to win 6 Ballon d'Ors. No one's probably ever going to win 5 Ballon d'Ors again, you know? So, like, for me, maybe they should have just left it this year and given it to someone else, even just for that reason alone. I'm not saying that's a good enough reason not to award Messi if he deserves it, but, like, come on, you know? he doesn't need it, you know? So, like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, and I not to cut you off, right? And I didn't think, you know, I didn't like personally, I didn't think Ronaldo or Messi deserved it.
Yeah,
But
I
if
agree.
we're gonna kind of look at this year, Ronaldo was what? He just broke how many records, international goal scoring records did he break this year?
Yeah.
And then he made the big move from Juve, well, being Italy's top goal scorer. Well, Lukaku was, but like he scored goals in Italy, and then he came to England. Look at what he's doing for Manchester United at such a short time at his age in a very physical league, right? For him to still be doing what he's doing at United versus when you now look on the other side, whereby Messi has spent his entire career in one club that has catered to all his needs. He's comfortable there. You know, it's like you've been at the same job your whole life and just the same company your whole life and just, you know, everyone loves you. The CEO loves you. Everybody loves you. And you're just a rock star. You know, everything goes your way. And, you know, but the moment you switch companies, you're no longer the, you know, the hot potato anymore. You know what I mean? So look at Messi now. I'm not saying that I'm sure he will pick up form in France, but you look at the contrast in their careers. Ronaldo has gone and done it everywhere he's gone. He's also won the Euros. So he's won an international tournament as well.
Yeah.
This is Messi's first international tournament. Ronaldo has also won the Nations League, right? So for me, it's like if we're gonna go that route, then I think Ronaldo should have won it this year too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. They've made their decision, and I still like Messi as a player, but you know, yeah, hopefully, I don't know who's going to win it next year, but we'll have to see how um, the season plays out, right? And not to just want to add one last thing before we wrapped up. I don't know if you guys saw Frank Lampard's comment where he says he changed his mind on the Ronaldo Messi debate.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, because he said he's always thought that Messi was better than Ronaldo, but seeing Ronaldo come into the EPL and see what he's doing right now at this level, he's like, okay, I got to give it up to this guy. This guy is a winner. Like, this guy is a winner. So
he's a born winner. Does it? He's done it everywhere he's gone.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, definitely been a fun conversation. Did you guys want to add anything? Obviously, lots of games coming up. We've got Arsenal versus Manchester United tomorrow. They're going to be doing the send off for Ole. So it's going to be a big game. I was kind of hoping that Ratnick would be the coach by then, but at least he'll be in the stands. So I don't know what's going on with that. So,
Josh, one last question, and this one is for you. Eze, you can answer it as well, although you are a Chelsea fan. Would you ever like to see, given Solskjaer's legendary status at the club, like obviously as a manager it didn't work out, but you know, like at least for me, I still feel bad for him in terms of he's a club legend and like if you can't say anything else for him, you could say that like he genuinely tried his best. Like I really do believe that. So is there any scenario in which in the future, and I mean like far down the line, where you would maybe like to see Solskjaer back at the club as a manager to try again? Like,
I would love it.
About answers it.
No, like he will have to prove himself somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Like, not just because he was a legend. I know if you watch his interview, like his send-off interview, he kept emphasizing the fact that he will be back in the club. I'm sure there's going to be some role in the club. It might not be I don't think it's going to be in any coaching role capacity, but I think he will do something in the club, whether it's being an ambassador for the club or something to do with maybe the youth development. I think he would definitely come back as something at United, but the coaching thing, he has to go prove himself, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just the legend status, because I'm sure Eze will speak for this. You know, look at Frank Lampard. Like he was gone, done and dusted, and we can all say that Frank Lampard was a much bigger legend for Chelsea than Ole was for Manchester United. When you actually look at both, when you look at their careers,
Yeah.
right, for the club that they played for pretty much their entire careers. So with that regard, would I mean? So in my head is I liked Ole. You know, he almost made me cry in his interview because he started
Mm.
tearing up, and I started tearing up too.
Yeah.
But like they say, you broke up with your ex for a reason, so don't forget that. Even though sometimes it's hard in the moment, but
Yeah.
don't forget it. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like my take with Ole on there. But I guess as it might have something to add on to that.
Oh, I love Ole. I think he should be the manager right now. Never should have been fired. I love what he does.
I'm
Bring him
sure you
back.
do love. I'm sure you do love Ole. I love Frank Lampard, to be fair. So
Oh my
There's
goodness.
nothing to add on that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, as it, would you ever see Frank? Would you think Frank Lampard will ever come back to Chelsea?
Probably actually. Yeah, I do. I do think so. Yeah, seeing like how young he is, I think he's just in his mid-40s.
Yeah.
He had a job before Chelsea. He had a championship side. I think he might get a Premier League coaching job. Also, already has one relatively soon.
Yeah, he was a candidate for the Newcastle job.
Yeah, something like that.
And
I saw
that's
he was
the
candidate for a few jobs. Yeah,
Yeah.
and from what I remember when Lampard was hired, they said he speaks really really well, very very likable, right? You really buy into what he's saying. The fact that he got a job at Chelsea after coaching Derby is insane, but
Yeah.
he finds a way to do it, right? Because of his ability to speak. So I imagine at some point in the future we'll definitely bring back Lampard in some capacity. I would hope so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's fair, right? Like I'm not the kind of person that burns bridges and says you can never. But for me, like I said with Ole, is you have to prove it somewhere else, right? Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna be in the coaching capacity, right? Like you gotta like the man management thing that we talked about, like he was a great man manager. I think it's a myth, but that's a conversation for a different day.
that man manager thing. He's just a nice guy. That's what it is. He's just a nice guy, and he's nice to talk to. I think that's what it really is. Whatever people.
Yeah.
Who was that last Newcastle coach that just got fired? What was his name?
Steve
Bruce?
Bruce.
Steve Bruce, yeah.
Yeah. They were saying like when he was leaving, all of the like the people who work around him, like in the offices, were really sad because he's just like a really like nice, like likable guy. I think that's all that is. Like
Yeah.
management, you're just kind of like a nice guy. I don't know.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, like if we talk about man management, that's the likes of Tuchel, Klopp,
Yeah.
like Pep. Those are man managers because they don't just, what I mean, like even the way they rotate the squad. That's why even in fantasy, like EPL fantasy, I don't usually pick Chelsea and City players. Not because I don't think they're good, it's just because I don't know who's going to play next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every player is happy because they're getting enough game time, at least majority of the players. But
100%.
on the Ole, yeah, he's starting 11. We're extremely happy because it didn't matter if they played the worst game of their lives or the best game of their lives, they were guaranteed to start the next game. So that's where was he really good at man management? Who knows? Or he just was good, like kind of like you said with Frank Lampard. He was good at saying the right things. That's what I was called in the politician, right? Oh, the politician is he just knew how to say things to suit the.
You got rid of
Sorry.
that poor sweet old man. You guys got rid of him. Messed
Yeah.
up. That's messed up, you guys.
But just before we wrap up, do you know I don't know if you guys watched the last game against Watford. His post match interview where they were asking him about the style and all that. Oh my goodness. Like that was the moment I just knew Ole's done. Like I was like, he's mentally done. The club has dragged him in the mud for way too long. I was actually pissed off at the club for putting him in that position for 2 years. Like, I was like, he's mentally done. Like I was like, he's mentally done. The club has dragged him in the mud for way too long. I was actually pissed off at the club for putting him in that position for way too long. I was actually pissed off at the club for putting him in that position for for way too long. Like
Mhm.
the whole world could see it from the finals of the Europa League that he was just not good enough, and then he just kind of like gave him a rope to just hang himself. Because the interview they asked him, so like something like, what did you what was wrong? You guys were not playing well. What did you think was the reason for you guys not playing well? And he's like, well, we had a lot of chances. We scored a lot of goals. I mean, we scored one goal. I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy cannot even analyze the game. Like he was so far gone in his head. He's like, we scored a lot of goals, and then he's like, I mean, we scored one goal, and then he's like, I apologize for smiling.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
was like,
saw that.
oh
I was
my
like, man,
god.
you've not been
I
seeing
my
too many
heart my
memes,
heart went for
man.
this guy. I was like, this guy said,
Yeah,
I apologize for smiling. That's when you need. I was like, okay, it's
yeah.
done. Yeah, there's nothing. There's no way out of this.
That's
But
pretty bad. You should give him a call, Josh. Give him a call. Just say thanks.
no, man, he can. I don't know where he is right now in Norway or something like that. But hey, it's
On
all good.
vacation,
Maybe if I'm in Norway, man, if you know some Norwegian ladies that you know from hospitality, then I'll link him up. But But
Sure.
anyways, guys, it's been really fun, man. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on the show. Always banter, but always fun. Constructive banter, I guess.
yes, yes. As I hope we're
Even
still
though,
cool. I hope we're still cool.
yeah, even though
Tough to
too,
say right
as
now,
a
Charles.
Jorginho is the best player in the world, but I'll allow it.
I need another month away from you guys, and then we can start again fresh.
Sorry?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that I think I need another month away from you guys just to process, and then we can start again.
Okay. Okay, we'll see. But well, man, definitely it's been fun, guys. Obviously a lot of games coming up, so we'll definitely touch base. Most likely, it's December. I know it's the holidays, so most likely in the new year, just to see how because that will be the halfway through the season, see how everyone's doing, and go from there. But anyways, guys, it's been fun. For those of you watching, please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you actually tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be doing the European show with Jeff and Eve, talking about all things Barcelona, Arsenal, and Real Madrid. But till next time, guys, we'll see you later. Take care.